Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about something counterintuitive, the idea that chasing goals is often the fastest path to failure. Think about your last big goal, the massive effort, the relentless push, the obsession over that final outcome. It's exhausting, right? What if I told you that the goal itself isn't the problem, but the chasing, the focus on the destination instead of the journey's identity is fundamentally flawed?
We're going to pivot your entire perspective. We're going to move from asking, what do I need to do to achieve this, to who do I need to become so that this achievement is simply a natural consequence?
This shift is the core of identity-based habits, and it's the framework that creates permanent, effortless success. You aim for the finish line. I will lose 20 pounds. I will launch my side business. I will write a book. The initial motivation is a rocket ship. You work 16 hours a day, fueled purely by adrenaline and the vision of that future outcome. But what happens around week 3 or month 2? That initial blast of motivation fades. It always does, because motivation is fleeting. You are left trying to maintain an unsustainable pace, using sheer willpower to bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. This leads to burnout. You crash, you feel guilty, and then you abandon the goal entirely, telling yourself, I just wasn't disciplined enough. That cycle of pursuit, exhaustion, failure, and self-criticism is the goal-chasing trap, and it's a miserable way to live. The flaw lies in where you place your focus. We are taught to be outcome-focused. We are obsessed with the metric. But the outcome is a temporary marker. Hitting a goal does not sustain success. If you only focus on the marathon finish line, what happens the day after the race? Do you still run? Probably not with the same intensity, because the reason for running vanished the moment you completed the goal. The weight loss example is the clearest evidence. Someone diets intensely to lose 20 pounds. They hit 20 pounds. Since they haven't changed the person they are, their habits, their identity, they revert to their old self, and the weight comes back. Why? Because their goal was to have lost 20 pounds, not to be a healthy person. This is the first major psychological trap, focusing on results rather than the underlying systems. Now, let's agitate this problem. Why is outcome obsession so damaging to our long-term happiness and consistency? First, goals create an either-or scenario. Either you succeed completely or you fail completely. If your goal is to make 100 sales and you only make 99, your brain registers the endeavor as a failure, even though you achieved 99% success. This reliance on a binary result crushes motivation the moment you hit a snag. The system, by contrast, is continuous. Second, goal chasing ties your self-worth to an external metric. You are successful only if you hit the number. If you don't hit the revenue target, you feel like a failure, not just professionally, but personally. Your identity is fragile. Imagine dedicating a year of your life to one outcome. If external factors block that outcome, a recession, a pandemic, bad luck, your entire year feels wasted. You spent time becoming a successful chaser, but you didn't spend time becoming a resilient person. This is the deepest wound traditional goal setting inflicts. It focuses on the layer of results when it should focus on the layer of identity. We fundamentally misunderstand how true lasting change works. We think change happens from the outside in. If I publish a book, result, then I will be a writer. But the person who publishes a book, the one who sustains that success, is the one who already believes, I am a writer. It starts from the inside out. Your behavior is simply a reflection of your identity. If you struggle to stick to a routine, it's not a discipline failure. It's an identity clash. You're asking a non-runner to train for a marathon. So, how do we fix this? How do we stop chasing and start becoming? This brings us to the solution phase, identity-based systems. We need to reframe success entirely. Success is not a finish line. It's an ongoing process of aligning your actions with the person you wish to be. The methodology is deceptively simple, but profoundly powerful. We break it down into 3 pillars. Pillar 1, decide who you want to be. This is the foundational layer. Forget the outcome for a minute. Describe the person. I am a writer. Don't say, I want to be rich. Say, I am a highly effective financial steward. The identity statement must be concrete and emotional. It's a core belief you adopt about yourself right now. When you say, I am a writer, your brain instantly recognizes the gap. Wait, I only write once a month. A writer writes daily. The identity pulls the behavior out of you naturally. The goal pushed the behavior out of you artificially. Action step for Pillar 1. Take 5 minutes right now and list 3 desired goals. Then translate each into an identity statement. Goal: I want to save $10,000. Identity: I am a mindful spender and investor. This shift in language reorients your mind. When faced with a purchasing decision, you ask, would a mindful spender buy this? Pillar 2. Create micro-proofs. Identity is not declared, it is proven through small, repeatable actions. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. We want to rack up as many votes as possible, early and often. These are not grand gestures. These are tiny habits, the 1% improvements James Clear talks about. If your goal is, I am a person who is fit and strong, the micro-proof is not, run 5 miles today. The micro-proof is, I will do 10 push-ups immediately after I finish brewing my morning coffee. That's it. When you complete those 10 push-ups, you get an immediate psychological win. Your brain registers, a fit person just did that. I must be a fit person. This is crucial. The power of the micro-proof is not in the result. 10 push-ups won't make you swole. It's in the confirmation of your identity. If you are a knowledgeable expert, your micro-proof might be, I will read 1 paragraph of a professional journal before checking social media. The action is tiny, but the accumulated identity proofs over weeks and months are massive. You transition from forcing yourself to act like the person you want to be, to simply acting consistent with the person you already are. This reduces the internal friction. The resistance disappears because the behavior is now congruent with your self-image. Action step for Pillar 2. Identify 1 high-leverage identity statement and design a habit that takes less than 2 minutes to complete. If you are a person who keeps a tidy workspace, the 2-minute habit is clear 1 item off the desk before leaving for the day. We are stacking tiny wins that reinforce a powerful internal narrative. Pillar 3. Refine your environment and system. If the identity is the internal compass, the system is the navigational map. We must design our environment to make the desired identity effortless and the undesired identity difficult. If you are an early riser, the system refinement is setting the alarm across the room, laying out workout clothes the night before, and preparing the coffee maker on a timer. You are eliminating the moments where you have to rely on willpower. Willpower is finite. System design is permanent. Think of habit triggers. If you want to be a meditator, your trigger should be immediately accessible. After I brush my teeth, I sit on the cushion. Don't wait for motivation to strike. Make the action inevitable by linking it to something you already do. To make unwanted behaviors difficult, increase the friction. If you are a focused worker, remove distracting apps from your desktop screen. If you find yourself stress eating, don't buy the stress foods in the first place. You can't eat what isn't there. The goal chaser relies on willpower at the moment of temptation. The identity person relies on system design hours, days, or weeks before. This is the true definition of effortless success. When you are the identity, the actions required for the outcome become easy, maybe even enjoyable. Action step for Pillar 3. Audit your top 3 daily environments: home, work, car. Identify 3 points of friction you can eliminate or 3 moments you can use for habit stacking. Let's look at the compounding effect of this identity shift over time. If you improve by just 1% every day, the results aren't linear. After 1 year, you are 37 times better off, not because you hit one massive goal, but because you embodied a marginally better identity 365 times. This is where the magic happens. The focus shifts entirely from the pressure of the outcome to the pride in the process. When you miss a day, which you inevitably will, you don't panic. You don't fail the goal. You simply ask, what would a writer do now? A writer would get back to writing tomorrow. They wouldn't quit the identity over one missed day. Your response to failure becomes the ultimate proof of your true identity. You define yourself by your comeback, not your temporary stumble. Let's review the 3 layers of change one more time, using the example of fitness. Layer 1, the outcome. The goal chaser thinks, I want to lose 20 pounds. Layer 2, the process. The system chaser thinks, I need to eat healthy and work out 3 times a week. Better, but still focused on tasks. Layer 3, the identity. The natural achiever thinks, I am a highly disciplined and healthy person. When you have the identity, the process is mandatory, not optional. The 20-pound weight loss becomes inevitable. This shift also eliminates comparisonitis. You stop worrying about what others are achieving because your focus is internal. You are not competing against someone else's success metrics. You are measuring your daily success against your chosen identity. Did I act like the person I said I was today? That's the only metric that matters for permanent growth. Let's transition now to how to scale this. Once the micro-proofs are working, how do you upgrade your system without returning to the burnout phase? Scaling happens through gradual friction addition, not sudden leaps. If 10 push-ups is easy, try 11 next week, not 50. The key is to keep the action slightly below the threshold of difficulty where you require motivation to start. If you are a writer and you write 250 words daily effortlessly, then challenge the system by writing 300 words. Keep the identity intact. Refine also means reviewing your identity regularly. As you achieve things, your self-image expands. The healthy person becomes the athlete. The mindful spender becomes the savvy investor. This fuels the next cycle of growth. The identity is never static. It's fluid, always moving toward the next better version of yourself. Final crucial point: be patient. Identity change is not an overnight metric hit. It is a slow, gradual accumulation of proof. There will be times when the effort feels huge and the results feel small. This is the valley of disappointment. A goal chaser quits in the valley of disappointment. An identity-based system user trusts the process and the underlying identity. Because even if the outcome isn't visible yet, every daily action is strengthening the core belief of who they are. So, stop setting goals that rely on external completion. Start building systems that rely on internal confirmation. Ask yourself, who is the person who naturally has the result I want? Then, take one action today, just one, that confirms that identity. If you are a grateful person, write down one thing you are thankful for right now. If you are a person of integrity, keep the tiny promise you made to yourself this morning. The results will follow. They are simply the delayed consequence of the person you have already become. Thank you for spending this time with me as we shift our focus from temporary metrics to permanent identity. I highly recommend revisiting pillars 1, 2, and 3 and actually writing down your statements and your habits. Execution is everything. What identity are you claiming today? Let me know in the comments below. Start small, start now. If this video helped clarify the confusion around goal setting and motivation, share it with a friend who is stuck on the hustle culture treadmill. And of course, for more deep dive psychological strategies for personal excellence, don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. I'll see you in the next video.